Hello, and welcome to our third edition of Daily Bread. I am Pastor Phil, and thank you for joining us today. The dogs in the house are walking around a little bit. I hope that that's not too distracting for you, but I wanted a bit of a change of scenery after the first two shot from my dining room table. Today we're going to continue talking about the sort of dichotomy, right, for lack of a better term, between the over-spiritualization that we sometimes see in crises or that we sometimes express ourselves, and this sort of idea of under-spiritualizing, or I like to call it spiritual nihilism. Nihilism, of course, if you've seen the Big Lebowski, there's the nihilists, right? We believe in nothing, and that's just what it means, right? Spiritual nihilism, spiritual nothingness. There is nothing there, and so one of the responses, especially from people who don't have faith, or even people who have faith but maybe feel disconnected, is to, in crises, not know what's happening in the spiritual realm. They focus only on the physical realm. Now, remember what I said in our first episode, that we're supposed to be sober-minded, because being sober-minded allows us to see both the spiritual and the physical and to engage with them both. Because remember, Jesus came in the flesh, and he was God in human form. There is a spiritual nature and his physical nature, and human beings were created with both the spiritual and the physical nature as well. And so, far be it from us, of people of faith who believe that, to fall into this trap of spiritual nothingness, spiritual nihilism. I gotta admit, this is sometimes where I find myself, especially in times of boredom, especially when I don't feel like there is a direction to my work or to my life, just kind of hanging out. I tend to dry up a little bit. And so it's important for us to note one thing that Paul writes to the church in Ephesus. In the 6th chapter, this is where he's talking about putting on the full armor of God. He says to put on the full armor of God so that you can stand against the schemes of the devil. This part is important. 6:12 here. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers of this darkness, against evil, spiritual forces in the heavens. For this reason, take up the full armor of God, so that you may be able to resist in the evil day, and having prepared everything, to take your stand. Powerful stuff, but it just reminds us that when we are struggling, maybe we're struggling with spiritual nihilism. Maybe we don't really feel that connected. We should remember that struggle is a spiritual struggle. We don't take it all the way over to an over-spiritualization where we only see the spiritual, but we realize that taking these two natures that God has given us, right, our spiritual and our physical beings, we see them together through a sober lens, and we realize that we have the center ground. We have a sober-minded, centered center ground. Not nothingness, not over-spiritualization, but biblical interpretation for our lives. We have meaning and we have purpose in the here and now, and we've been freed from all fear in the here and now, because we know that God has taken care of our future. He's given us spiritual eternal life right now, and we have physical eternal life waiting for us when he comes back again. So join me tomorrow, and we'll continue wrapping this part up, and then again on Friday evening, I'll be joined by a guy named Abe Artavia. I've known him for a long time, long enough to know how his last name is pronounced. And we'll be doing a Facebook Live at 8 o'clock on Friday night, so 8 o'clock Central Time. Hope you're able to join, and until then, God bless you.